The essential role of Ace Frehley in Kiss's legacy. When we reflect on Kiss's rise and enduring legacy, one name stands out not just for theatrics or stage presence: Ace Frehley. The guitarist, who has died aged 74, was far more than a costumed performer. He was central to Kiss's musical identity, and his loss invites us to reappraise just how indispensable he was to the band's success. A quiet but powerful contribution. Ace Frehley was the final founding member to join Kiss, but once in place his influence became deeply felt in their sound and live shows. Though he may not have been the most prolific songwriter in the group, his musicianship and style were vital. Almost every song in Kiss's setlist remained from the era in which he played, and his composition, Cold Gin, endured in live shows long after his exit. In 1978, in a unique experiment, all 4 Kiss members released solo albums on the same day. Frehley's album stood out as the only one that passed muster as a real rock record, and it produced the hit New York Groove, a cover of a Russ Ballard song that blended a Bo Diddley beat with a disco sheen. The Guardian. His style. The monster plod and spaceman persona. Frehley's guitar style was often described as a monster plod, a heavy, behind-the-beat drive that lent weight and momentum to Kiss's music. He was widely regarded as the most proficient musician in the band's original lineup. He brought not just technical skill, but flair, adding instrumental solos and textural depth to the spectacle of Kiss's performances. Beyond his playing, Ace brought character and mystique. While Paul Stanley exuded sexuality and Gene Simmons horror theatrics, Frehley's spaceman persona introduced an enigmatic blankness, a figure whose silence and mystery only deepened the theatrical impact. Turbulent years, personal struggles, and redemption. Even from early on, the relationships within Kiss were strained. Frehley and drummer Peter Criss were known as the partiers, while Stanley and Simmons were more business-minded. Substance abuse featured heavily in Frehley's story. He began drinking soon after joining the band and took up cocaine during the Destroyer sessions in 1976. He candidly wrote about how cocaine allowed him to drink more without passing out, a grim reflection of deep personal turmoil. Incidents of near-death experiences occurred. Simmons reportedly once rescued him from drowning in a pool and once in a bath. By the time Kiss announced their final tour, Frehley ended up not appearing, despite claims of invitations to guest on the farewell shows, a point of discord, he later alleged, used for marketing. Rebirth and later years. After leaving Kiss, Frehley's solo career had fits and starts. He released 3 albums in quick succession, then went silent until 2009. But in 2006 he got sober, and from that point on his output was renewed and more heartfelt. His first sober album, Anomaly, 2009, is regarded by some as one of the strongest albums to emerge from any Kiss member since the 1970s. In 2018 Spaceman, he reunited creatively with Simmons for 2 tracks, the last studio recordings of what the article calls the monster plod. Why Kiss needed Ace Frehley. Kiss's greatness was never just about spectacle or costumes. It depended on the synergy of their members, including musicianship behind the scenes. The article argues that Kiss could not have achieved their extraordinary greatness without Frehley. His guitar voice, his persona, and his commitment to rock musical integrity provided the counterbalance to the showmanship that made Kiss a global phenomenon. While Kiss went on without him, and while Simmons and Stanley held the brand aloft, Frehley's absence left a void. The monster plod lost its original force, and some of the band's musical soul departed with him. The piece suggests that their later years lacked the same cohesion and spark that defined their classic era.